In our noisy world, where everyone rushes to defend, explain, and justify themselves, there's a forgotten power we need to rediscover: the power of silence. Have you ever found yourself exhausted after trying to explain yourself to someone who simply refused to understand? Or felt drained after an argument where your words were twisted and used against you? This message is for you. Welcome to this reflection on why silence might be the most powerful response you haven't been using in your daily battles. The wisdom traditions have long taught that silence isn't weakness, it's strength. When Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes that there is a time to be silent and a time to speak, he wasn't suggesting we become passive. He was revealing a profound spiritual strategy. Think about this for a moment. Some of the conflicts you face aren't just disagreements with the person standing in front of you. There's often a deeper dimension, a spiritual element at work beneath the surface. The Apostle Paul reminds us that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces at work in this world. When you recognize this truth, everything changes. The person who attacks you, misunderstands you, or twists your words isn't always the real problem. Sometimes, there are spiritual influences affecting how they perceive and respond to you. Here's what happens in these situations. You try to explain yourself, to make things clear, to justify your actions. But somehow, the more you speak, the worse it gets. Your words fall on deaf ears or get distorted into something you never intended. You're left feeling frustrated, misunderstood, and depleted. This is where the power of silence comes in. When Jesus stood before Pilate, falsely accused and surrounded by people who misunderstood him, Matthew tells us he gave him no answer. This wasn't a passive response. It was a demonstration of profound spiritual wisdom and authority. Jesus understood something vital. Not every accusation deserves a defense. Not every person is ready to hear what you have to say. Some battles aren't meant to be fought with words. Think of your words, your wisdom, and your explanations as precious pearls. Would you throw pearls into the mud where they'll be trampled? Of course not. Yet we do this spiritually when we share our deepest thoughts, feelings, and revelations with those who cannot possibly value them. When you remain silent in the face of accusation or misunderstanding, you're not losing. You're actually preserving your spiritual and emotional energy for the battles that truly matter. You're refusing to let others drain your peace. You're standing in quiet confidence, trusting that truth doesn't always need your defense. Have you noticed how some conversations leave you completely depleted? One argument, one frustrating exchange, one person twisting your words can leave you emotionally exhausted for hours or even days. That's because emotional expenditure translates to physical depletion. But when you choose silence in those moments, you protect what's sacred. You preserve your peace. You conserve your strength. Not every battle deserves your words. Not every person is ready to hear the truth you carry. When you learn to be silent, you also learn to trust in something greater than yourself. Silence and trust go hand in hand. When you stop talking, you're saying, "I don't need to defend myself. Truth will vindicate itself in time." This kind of trust requires incredible strength. That's why Isaiah says, "In quietness and trust is your strength." The world tells us that strength comes from shouting louder, fighting harder, and defending ourselves at all costs. But true spiritual strength is often found in knowing when to remain silent. There's another dimension to silence that we often overlook. It sharpens your discernment. When you stop talking, you start listening, not just to others, but to the still, small voice within. Some of the most profound insights come not when we're speaking, but when we're quietly observing and listening. In those quiet moments, you begin to see clearly. You discern which battles are yours to fight and which ones to surrender. You understand who is speaking truth and who is being influenced by deception. You don't need to argue because people's actions reveal everything. Here's a practical truth. When you remain silent, people often reveal their true motives. If you stop talking, they will start. Some people only show their real intentions when you step back and let them speak. Silence isn't just about what you don't say. It's about what you allow others to reveal. How much time have you wasted defending yourself to people who will never see the truth? How much energy have you poured into arguments that leave you drained and frustrated? Silence frees you from this cycle. It allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. Silence isn't surrendering. It's stepping back so something greater can step in. It's preserving your strength so you can fight the battles that matter. It's trusting that you will be defended, protected, and vindicated in perfect timing. As you go forward from this moment, I encourage you to embrace the power of strategic silence. Stop explaining yourself to those who cannot or will not understand. Learn to discern which conversations are worth having and which ones to walk away from. Trust that in your silence, wisdom is working on your behalf. Remember, not every battle requires a response. Not every person deserves an explanation. And not every conversation is worth engaging in. When you remain silent in those moments, you aren't avoiding the fight. You're fighting a different way. You're standing in quiet confidence, preserving your peace and trusting in the power of truth to reveal itself. In a world that can't stop talking, your calm silence will speak volumes. In a culture obsessed with having the last word, your peaceful restraint will demonstrate true strength. Practice the sacred art of silence and watch how it transforms your life, your relationships, and your spiritual journey. Thank you for listening. May you find the wisdom to know when to speak and when silence is your most powerful response. In quietness and trust, you will find your greatest strength. Did you know? Just one like from you can give me the motivation to create more awesome videos. And by subscribing with the notification bell on, you'll never miss out on my next amazing content. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video or suggest a topic you'd like to see next.